everyone. This is the Gridiron Review with our AFC South offseason preview. The Houston Texans now find themselves in a very unique situation where they could get a much bigger haul than expected in the NFL draft for their pick 2. We don't feel like they're taking the quarterback this year, at least not in the first round, so some draft targets for us are Jalen Carter, Myles Murphy, and then a little bit later, Kenny McIntosh. In free agency, Jacoby Brissett could be a great bridge quarterback until you figure out who's long-term. Austin Hooper could bring some stability to the tight end room. And Marcus Davenport, you could spend a lot of money on to bring him in. He's still young. Again, in our opinion, you got to give DeMeco Ryans time. Do not overdraft the quarterback. Don't push the quarterback. If you think CJ Stroud's your guy, that's great. But if not, if it's Bryce Young, then fine. Don't take Will Levis and be patient. Continue building up the defense, specifically the defensive line in the linebacker room, and then maybe trade Brandon Cooks, get some draft capital for him. While we still believe the Indianapolis Colts are going to be a train wreck since Jim Irsay is still there, they did hire Shane Steichen, which was a great hire. We imagine they have a quarterback in mind and that they end up trading up one spot with the Cardinals to take that quarterback, and it's probably Bryce Young, especially if Richardson and Stroud go 1-2, in our opinion. They should try to re-sign Paris Campbell and maybe Bobby Okereke. And then some free agent targets, bring in Gardner Minshew to help mentor whatever the rookie quarterback is. Nate Herbig is a flexible offensive lineman. Draymond Jones is a flexible defensive lineman. Our draft fits, in our opinion, Stroud should be the first target, but Bryce Young is a fine consolation prize. And if for whatever reason they don't go quarterback, then Christian Gonzalez. Keys to the offseason, pick the right quarterback, but you've got to be patient with him. No messing around like they've done for years with their quarterbacks. Add to the wide receiver room. Either it be Paris Campbell re-signing or a free agent or a draft pick. Feature Jelani Woods more. Continue stalking up the defense. The Colts are not in the horrible spot, but they just need to get the quarterback right. The Tennessee Titans appear to be heading towards a rough year. They are already negative in the cap. They are going to lose Austin Hooper, although Chigo Okonkwo should be good. They're losing Nate Davis, DeMarcus Walker, David Long, and they are a mess across the board. Their wide receiver room is weak. Their quarterback is, at this point, weak, and Malik Willis showed nothing. Derrick Henry was reporting on the trade block. The defense is average at best. With that being said, a couple guys they could look to invest in: Juju Smith-Schuster, Kalen Saunders, or Jadeveon Clowney. Some draft prospect fits. Will Levis is basically just a younger Tannehill in the best-case scenario. If you want to do that to save your losses with Tannehill, that's fine. They need offensive line. Skoronski, Broderick Jones, Nolan Smith could replace Bud Dupree. It's hard to believe where this team is going. Don't be surprised if they're picking top 5 next year, maybe even in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, because it's going to be rough. Expect them to try and trade Derrick Henry, maybe even Harold Landry, and anybody else that could get draft picks, because they're about to enter they should enter a big rebuild. It's crazy to think that the Jacksonville Jaguars went from picking first overall to being a player or two away from beating the future Super Bowl champion Chiefs in one offseason. They have mapped the blueprint on how to turn the team around, overspend, but don't go absolutely berserk, and just be smart with it. They threw multiple darts at the wide receivers, and all three, and we include Ingram in that, worked out. Their defensive rotational pieces did well. Some targets for us: Nate Herbig. They need offensive line. That's kind of like the glaring need. We initially had Andrew Voorhees as a great fit for them, but he tore his ACL at the combine, so he could be had on day 2. Darnell Wright now is a flexible offensive lineman who can play tackle for them. Andre Dillard from Philly. Keys to the offseason: keep doing what they're doing. Trevor Lawrence, big step forward with Doug Peterson at head coach. Calvin Ridley got reinstated. This team is trending in the right direction. Maybe add a secondary piece and figure out some pass rushing help. Trayvon Walker was fine. Josh Allen took a major step back. Maybe he just needs a running mate. But yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars are set up great going forward.